here we go. So current working directory and making folders. So we need to import OS, and what this will allow us to do, it'll allow us to interact with the operating system a little bit more.
So you said this in shell or no? Or
You can do it in the shell. I don't, because it's easier for me to save this sort of stuff and give it to you there. So we're going to import OS. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a folder on our desktop. Actually, no, in our users folder. So where that's going to be, so to get to your users folder, you're going to go to local disk C, go to users, and then click on your name. So this is where, a lot of your stuff, if you delete your user folder, you basically lose everything on your computer.
Oh, because desktop is inside user.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But I have OneDrive backing up my desktop, and that actually screws stuff up because there's a space in OneDrive Wheaton Academy, and it breaks it because they didn't code to have a space in a file path.
If I went and I deleted the users folder, Windows would just stop.
If you what?
If I tried to delete the users folder, it would just stop.
Yeah, it says you need. Yeah, it would try to stop you, but you could probably get around it. So I'm gonna leave this up here, so you guys can see what's gonna happen. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go os.make dirs. Dirs stands for directory or directories, which is a fancy way of saying folder. Current working directory is also your current working folder. It's just where you are. So what we're gonna do is we're going to make a folder. Now there's two ways we can do this. We can use path, and we can use we're gonna hard code it. So we're gonna do it both ways here, because the book goes with it this way. So again, what you can do is you can copy this. You can navigate to a spot, copy it there, paste it, and we'll just put an R in front of it. So once I have the directory, David, what's the file name you want to create right now? What's the folder name you want to create? I don't know. I'm going to start that with an A so we can see it pop up right up here. I don't know. So once we run this, if I did it right, there you go. I don't know. Now if you try to create it again, what do we get?
You can't name a file when that file already exists.
Yes, so what we would need to do when you are making a folder, do try and accept, especially when you're doing it for homework. Because if you don't, and every time you try to create the folder, you'll have to delete the folder in order for it to work. So if I don't have a try and accept, I'd have to go, ugh. Okay. Run it. Awesome. Oh, wait, I gotta change something. Oh, wait, I gotta delete. It'll get really boring. So what you'll wanna do is you wanna do try, accept, file exists error, print, file / folder already exists.
hey, what do you write at the end of os.makeDirs?
This is the folder you want to create in the location you want to create.
Okay.
So once you run that, file / folder already exists, you can now continue with your code. Because if you have a file, you can overwrite a file, you can't overwrite a folder. You have to delete the folder and recreate it or skip that step. So this right here, for a lot of your homework that you'll have to do with folders, you will want to keep something like this at the very top, a try and accept.
How does a folder, not a file?
What?
It's always going to be a folder.
You'll have to do both in homework. is you need to create files and you'll need to create folders. So let's see, let's see if we can do this with a path. So let's do os dot.
Is there filter?
Yep.
What makes it a file? Like, is that the make dirs thing?
This makes it a folder.
Okay.
When you want a folder, you actually do something like open dot, not open dot, open, and then you have slash dot txt. I think that works. No such file.
Wait, did you make a file? Too?
I didn't create a file, and I can't remember how to make a file, which sounds really, really bad for a teacher. Or is that in the next chapter?
OS.
Oh, that's in the next chapter anyway, so.
Is it OS that makes something else?
No. However, this, if haha existed, this is how you open a file to read it. You don't need to import anything, it's just open and then the file name, and then you have to do like an R after it so that you read it. But again, you guys don't need to know that. That chapter is a little easier than this one. So if we did make dirs, I just want to test something real quick. So if we then did path, and we did this,
You still need the R for a path.
hang on. Copy, paste. We're gonna go from path lib import path. And then how do we do path again? Oh yeah. Actually, I think you need a colon in there. Let's see if this works. AI, I don't know, 2. Apparently did not. That's annoying. I feel like that should have worked. Alright, let's go back. You can also verify if something is a relative path or a absolute path. This is not something that typically we do in this class. The reason for that is a lot of our stuff is written to do a specific thing and we don't care what other users have done. So if we're typing in, please give us this file path, we assume it's correct. Does that make sense? So like in all of homework, in your quizzes and tests, these sorts of modules would be like, which of the following determines whether or not a file path is absolute or relative? And that's it. Is absolute, is underscore absolute, is true, whatever. But real quick, the way you do this is you can do path dot current working directory. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't tell you guys about that. This is really helpful. Path.current working directory, what that will allow you to do is know exactly where your code is. And what I mean by where it is, what folder is it currently working in? Because if you think you're in your desktop and you're not finding the file, and you're sitting there going, how is it not finding haha.txt? It's right there, I'm looking at it. Well, it's probably because your current working directory is wrong. So what you'll want to do is you want to print your current working directory to know I'm not in desktop, I'm in documents. I need to change my code. So that right there, that path.current working directory will save you a lot of headaches.
Still working shell because you're not in a file for shell.
Yeah, you are. Oh wait, hang on, I need to restart this, otherwise it won't, so. Where it is, when you don't, if you just are running the shell and you're not running a file that's saved in your computer, the default current working directory is where your, is where you installed Python. Because where this file to run this program is in that folder over there.
Alright.
So this is, it's in my C program files, x86, Python 3832. That's also where you'll find the library folder that contains all of your modules. So if you can't remember how to get there, open up shell, do print current working directory, and you'll be good. It'll tell you exactly where to go. And then all you need to do, you can just literally copy this. At least I think this will work. Yep, and then it takes you right there and you go lib, here's all my modules.
If you do complete, like if you paste like an entire, what's it called again? The C
File path?
If you paste the complete thing, will it open the file that it says, or will it just find it?
Yeah, no, it'll open the file. So let's open, it'll open it.
Okay.
So I mean, you could like run Python using Python. If you run the Python file.
Probably make an error or something.
Yeah, hang on, let me find something that I don't. Copy. Now it doesn't look like it'll open it, but if you do Windows R, it will. It would also help if I didn't accidentally erase stuff. That'd be so much better at my job if I just didn't make mistakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's wrong? There you go. So, if you, oh, you guys didn't even see Windows R. So any file, if you give it a file path, it will open that file. So regardless of where it is, if you give Windows R the file path, it opens it. If it's openable.
That's whack.
I don't know.
But can you open the Python exe? Does it open the Python?
You can use Python to open Python.
Why doesn't?
You can also, you can tell your computer when you log into your computer to open Python, and then you can then have Python run scripts for
Couldn't
you.
you do that like a lot easier though? Couldn't you just go into the settings and say like when I turn on my computer?
No,
Turn on this
you
one?
actually have to make it a task.
Really? Cause like normally like you have like the startup tasks, like when you open your computer, Spotify, like all these programs open.
Right, which one, I would turn off as many of those as possible.
I do.
And two, yes, it'll open Python, but it won't, like, I don't think you can tell it open this specific file.
Oh, no, you can't do that.
What you
have
can
to
do with
that.
Task Manager, you can actually say, hey, when I log into my computer, run this specific file. And then that file will do a bunch of stuff. And that's one of your guys' homework later this semester, is to create a task once we learn how to do it. It's actually very simple, so don't freak out. That opens like your Outlook and goes to Amazon. And searches YouTube or whatever. It opens a couple things every time you log into the computer, and it's really cool with Twilio. So Twilio is a free account, and again, I have a video on this, that you can have your phone, you can have your computer text your phone. So you can set up a task using Python or Task Manager in Python. When someone logs into my computer, send me a text message. Now I will say it's only when you log in and out, not when you lock it. So if you just hit Windows L to lock your computer and then you unlock it, that doesn't count. It's only if you log off and then log back on. So it's really helpful for like your work computer or a home computer that you don't want people logging in on after 10 p.m. or whatever. You do that and you get a text message.
What does Windows L do?
Windows L locks your
Try it.
computer.
Try it. It just locks it and you don't let go.
It like puts it to sleep.
Whoa, that's cool.
If you're
Yeah.
playing games and everyone knows the alt for you can just say, hey, do Windows L and do some hacks.
Ah, jeez. Alright, so real quick, you can also do, this will tell you .is underscore a, did they change this? Is it a absolute? It'll give us a true. If it's not, it gives us a false. We can also do, is relative? No. Because if it's false, there's only one other option. So, is absolute, there is no way to tell, there is no is relative. It's only is absolute, and if it's false, what does that tell you, Stockton?
It's relative.
It's relative.
Wait, why do you have to print it? Oh, wait.
Because the
It
constant.
prints the true. Never mind.
Yeah, I have to print it because I'm running it up here. You guys, if you're running it down here, you don't have to. So now there's os.path module, so at os.path, you can do a bunch of things, well, and by a bunch I mean 3. It will give you the absolute path of the argument. That gives you the easiest way to get the hopefully I'm doing this right. We'll return a string of the absolute path of an argument. This is the easiest way to convert a relative path to an absolute one. Well, that it? Is that not it? Oh, this is gonna break. Oy vey. It's my current working directory. Oh, it's path. So give me my relative path. I'm just a moron, that's why. Alright, so there you go. I forgot this ABS path. So, again, real quick, what this will do, if you need the absolute path of where you are in your computer, this is how you get it. os.path, ABS path. It will take the relative path, make it into an absolute path. Right?
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
that makes sense.
So again, a lot of this stuff, you'll need to know that it exists and vaguely how to use it, but when it comes to homework, when it comes to actual code writing, when I did my stuff, like when I do code, I love this book. This is a great book because it gives you so many different options and it tells you all this stuff. And that way I don't have to remember it because I like remembering useless information. Like, Challenger Deep is the deepest part of the ocean. It's deeper than Mount Everest is tall. Anyway.
I'd be concerned if the oceans weren't deeper than the.
Say what?
I feel like it makes sense that the oceans are deeper than mountains, though.
Yeah. It's crazy. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna give you guys some homework and we're gonna jump ahead a little bit. Yeah, you guys are gonna, so for your homework, what I want you guys to do is to read, and I'll make this an actual assignment, is read like 4 or 5 pages and copy the code in the book. What that does, and what I want you all to do, is instead of doing it in the shell, do it in the console. What that'll allow you to do is you print all of this stuff, and that's it. Literally, you'll copy it and paste it. Or you're copying from the book into the shell. And again, I'll make that an assignment. That'll be due tomorrow, so I have time to grade it before my last day. So what we're gonna jump into, I want to walk you through reading and writing, reading and writing files.
So we're copying the homework to the console, not the shell?
Correct. That way I can hit print or I can run it and see the output, as opposed to having to read it if you save it as a whatever file.
And so for the homework, would we have to, how are you gonna like use your own, do you have to edit it for your own computer?
So instead of doing path dot, like it says in the book, you will go in the shell or in the console, print and you'll just print everything that it has in the book. Okay, so there are 2 types of files. There's binary files and non-binary files. Binary files are, I'm sorry, not binary, non-binary. That's something else. Plain text and binary. Plain text is a type of file where all it is text. So Notepad, text editor, those sorts of things are text files. So we do a lot of stuff with text files because it's very easy to read and write to those. Whereas with the other files, binary files, they're not. So let me do. Where is this thing located? Great. So if I were to open, let's open, so your test 1 dictionaries and strings. So if I were to open that, where is it, Notepad, this is your test. So if you cannot open it with Notepad, it is a binary file and we can't use it. If you can open it with Notepad, then you can use it.
Does this count as opening, or?
Yeah.
Is that
This does not count as opening.
Okay.
What if I try to open Fortnite with Notepad?
What?
So what if I try to open Fortnite with Notepad?
You'd get something weird like this. And so that's why everything we do is in text, dot text, dot text, dot text, dot text. Does that make sense? Plain text files aren't encrypted. They are plain text. You can read them. Everything else is crazy. So I imported that. Okay. So hopefully this works because it didn't work earlier today. So you need to import this again. So keep this uncommented out. So from path lib import path. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do our current working directories and student resources. Okay, good. P equals, I don't think this is in here. Oh, maybe it does. Maybe you just gotta do it. P dot write underscore text. So when you run this, now I'm going to look in that student resources folder. Oh look, spam. Spam.txt, and if we open it, hello world.
How does it know where to write this file?
Very good question. My current working directory.
How is the working directory impacting these 2 lines?
Because I'm not telling it where to make, it assumes your current working directory. So if you don't give it a file path, it will put it wherever your current working directory is.
And where was the current working directory defined in the console?
I didn't define it in the console. It's because I saved this in the student OneDrive student resources folder.
Oh, so this whole file defines it.
As soon as you save it, where you save it is the current working directory until you change it. And then what you can do is you can do p.read text. And this should give us, oh, I need to actually print it. Hello world.
Oh, that's reading the spam.
Yep. Now by default it overwrites it, but I believe if we do, and I don't think the book has told us how to do this yet. Nope, okay, I did it wrong. Alright, we'll get to that. I don't know why you would, Oh, so if you, so again, this is new, so sorry. This path.spam is it will create the file and then gives you limited interactions with it. You can basically read it. You can write to it and read it. And every time you write to it, it will overwrite what was there and read it. It just gives you a string of everything there. Typically what you do is you do something that creates the file, and then I don't believe you can open, because I think this is what I tried earlier. Hello file is open. We'll do path.current working directory / spam 2.txt. Alright, did I do this right? Oh, great. Nope, you gotta create it. That's really kind of annoying. I don't remember it being like that. Alright, so I changed this to spam, from spam 2 to spam, got rid of that, and it works. So this allows you to write to it, right? P.write text. P.read text allows you to read it. And that P is just the variable that we assign this file object to. And then the last thing, if you want to read it, you do hello file.read. We'll get rid of that. Again, it's the same thing because we're just reading the file. This gives us a little bit more things to do with. You can read it. There are differences in there's read. There's read lines. Okay, so that's a text document. Okay. Ah, great. What did I do we are running low on